Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only U.S. president to be elected to 4 consecutive terms, was declared permanently paralyzed by doctors at the age of 39. He led America out of the Great Depression while spending most of his life in a wheelchair. Born into a wealthy New York family, Roosevelt grew up riding horses on his family's estate. A photo of him at age 11, wearing a suit and tie, already showed a maturity beyond his years. However, this Harvard-educated lawyer initially had no interest in law. He once bluntly stated, "All the economics courses I took were wrong." In 1913, at the age of 31, Roosevelt became Assistant Secretary of the Navy, but his rising political career suffered a major setback. In 1921, while vacationing on Campobello Island at the age of 39, he suddenly developed a high fever and was left permanently paralyzed in both legs. When his mother advised him to quit politics, his wife Eleanor and aide Lewis Howe encouraged him to return to the public eye. During his 1932 presidential campaign, he pioneered the use of automobiles to reach out to rural voters. When Roosevelt took office on March 4, 1933, the United States was at the lowest point of the worst economic depression in its history. One-fourth of the labor force was unemployed. Prices had fallen by 60%, and farmers were in dire straits. 2 million people were homeless, and banks in 32 states had closed. Within his first 100 days, Roosevelt introduced 15 major bills to reorganize the financial system, distribute relief funds, and establish the Public Works Administration, PWA, to promote large-scale public works projects. The Rural Electrification Administration, REA, brought electricity to millions of rural households, while the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, provided jobs for 250,000 unemployed youth. He also revitalized the economy through the National Industrial Recovery Act, ARI and IRA. During World War II, Roosevelt sat in the White House map room, using colored pencils to mark battle lines and exchanging 1,700 coded messages with Churchill to plan Allied strategy. The day after the Pearl Harbor attack, he delivered his Day of Infamy speech to Congress from his wheelchair, prompting them to swiftly pass a war resolution. After the Yalta Conference, everyone was shocked to see how old, thin, and frail he looked. On April 12, 1945, the 63-year-old president suddenly collapsed in front of his easel at a spa in Georgia, still holding the speech he was editing. It was just 26 days before the Nazis surrendered. He left the world with a blueprint for the Social Security system and post-war order. As we discuss the qualities of leadership in peacetime, how should we measure this legendary figure who broke all conventions? His wheelchair remains on display in Washington, the worn marks on its metal frame still testifying that true leadership never depends on whether one's feet can touch the ground.